We just finished up the first national here in Arizona, and it ended up being a pretty long day. We started early, we were the first ones out, which was new, and it wasn't too bad, except it ended up going a little bit long. The morning sections were on the easy side, but there were a few pretty tricky ones, and you really had to hit your line just right to keep it clean. I was able to keep it clean all morning, and I was really happy with that, and that was enough to put me ahead of Josh, which I knew he was going to be very good here. Meyer's riding awesome as well, so felt really good to have that solid of a ride in the morning. But Toby's here, and he cleaned it as well, so we went into a ride-off, and that's where he really showed he was the better rider. It was a tough section, a long one, and physically I was struggling, and technically I was struggling in the creeks that was slick with some loose rocks. Second ride, there were some rocks in the way, and I ended up fiving it, so that hurt me. I did turn it around at the end and had a pretty squirrely clean, but at least it was a clean. Hopefully it can ride well tomorrow and have a good finish at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, Saturday here in Arizona was pretty good. I was feeling pretty good on the bike and riding pretty confidently as well, so that's about all I could ask for. You know, riding how I ride at home is the best I could ride here at the National, and ended up putting me in a 4th place position. I'm really happy about that, especially my 4-point last loop was definitely some icing on the cake. So, you know, I'm gonna try to carry this momentum into tomorrow.
Saturday went okay. I'm not totally happy with it. Coming out west is always really difficult, but I eventually got my bearings together by the end of the day. The first loop was rough. I just felt uncomfortable and out of my groove, but by the end I finally got settled in with the new bike. The new Geomax tire finally came into its own, and I think we can carry it on to the rest of the day tomorrow and the rest of the season, and hopefully come back with a better result.
Big shout out to these guys. Tough ride today.
Today went pretty well. The sections were definitely harder. They added some splits, made a few of them a little bit long, and I started out a little slow. Just took a while to get going and made some kind of lame mistakes on the first loop. Had a handful of single dabs. Felt like I was just rushing a few things and taking some bad lines. I was able to clean it up for the second and third loops and cleaned those completely, so it was nice to end on that note, and I was really happy to finish in second to beat Josh and the rest of the guys, especially Josh. This is kind of his home turf, so to come here and be able to beat him was awesome. I was no match for Toby today, and he beat me by a little bit more since it was harder, and I feel like that's just going to be how the season will go. The harder it gets, the more he's going to pull away, so nothing I can do about that. It's a little bit bittersweet to still finish ahead of the US guys, but not take the win. But I got to be happy with my riding, and the bike worked great as well. This is the most power we've had at this high of elevation. We were also testing some new tires, the new Dunlops, and they worked great as well. Didn't have any issues slipping on any rocks, and there were actually some slick ones in the creek. So good weekend, great sections, and good way to start the season.
Yeah, so Sunday here in Kingman. Went pretty good. Started off first loop really rough. 3 5s and 5 individual dabs for a 20-point first lap. Wasn't really happy with it. And I was frustrated because I felt like I was riding well. I just had an unfortunate couple of 5s here and there. And coming into the second loop, I just kind of rode the best I could and rode confidently, rode calm, and had a 6-point second loop, which I wasn't really sure that I could get any better from there. And then coming into the third loop, I popped a couple of hammer pills and took a couple of hammer gels and a banana, and I went out there and had a 3-point last loop. So I was really stoked on that, and ended the weekend strong. So yeah, I'm super happy with how the bike ran this weekend, and thanks to everyone, all of our sponsors that made it happen.
Sundays felt much better actually on the bike. I started off comfortably. I mean, there were some jitters in there and some dumb points, but overall I thought it was good. Going throughout the day, I just took a ton of little dabs, stupid dabs on setups, just nicking a rock, or just stupid mistakes, and I mean that's ultimately what caught me out. 7 points off of 4th place again, so not super happy with it. I was able to clean up a lot of the big mistakes, but the little dabs killed me, and I kind of felt it coming, and just got to move on and push forward, go to the East Coast, and hopefully I can ride a little bit better.